Hello, welcome to Sunday the 6th of April. I hosted 2 workshops yesterday, one in the real world and one in the internet in Zoom. Both of them were really cool. They were both super different. So I didn't manage to get around to my daily live stream yesterday, but I did share the reference that we used in the workshop as part of the daily portrait practice series. So this is the first day I haven't live streamed since sometime in the beginning, or yesterday was, sometime in the early January. And but here I am now. We're doing a daily portrait practice together. And yesterday's portrait that I did was in Procreate, digital. And today I'm going to come back to my attempts to do wet media sketching. And I see that there are 2 people watching live. I would love you to say hello in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, please also say hello, because I know a lot more than 2 people will see the replay. So I'd love you to say hello in the chat. Tell me where you are, what you're doing. What's the last thing you drew or painted? Or maybe you don't draw and paint at all. You could tell me that. So let's work from this amazing photo. Martina is here. This was photographed. I found this photo because Niels Böddingmeier is an incredible photographer who I had the pleasure of meeting many years ago in Germany. And hello. This photo is of Berq mit Q, who I just discovered. I took this screenshot a long time ago because I was just like, this looks amazing and I would love to draw or paint it. And just discovered that Berq is an incredible singer, and just listened to music on the Colors channel, which was so cool. Brigitte is here, not in shape to show, but love to follow for the first time. Follow, subscribe, send me thumbs up. The reds in that photo, I know. I would also love how to learn how to sketch in watercolor. So that's what I'm trying to do this month. Every day I'm doing a wet media portrait sketch and trying to keep it pretty brief. And I'm about to put my kids to bed, so I don't have much time. So I need to do a brief sketch. Let's do it. And I'm wondering, these are amazing reds. I do not have a red that's anything like this on my palette, but I do have hot pink. So I'm thinking of doing it with this incredible pink color. Let's see how I go. Let me know what you are going to be sketching with. I will do just a really quick loose drawing to begin. And wait a minute, here we go. Let's do it. So last night's workshop was super cool. It was nice to meet so many of you. I'm going to put a timer on just to kind of keep track of how long I'm spending on this. A stopwatch. Okay, let's go. I want this to be loose, so I hope to get ever looser with my drawing. I rely a lot upon my drawing when I'm doing watercolor, and I would like to see if I can rely more upon my watercolor. So I just want to really briefly get these shapes down. The workshop I led yesterday was Shapes in Procreate, which was really cool. We've spent the past month looking at shadow shapes and value shapes, which helps so much, and just deciding what to do in these quick sketches as well, to just be like, okay, what are the big, clear, important shapes, and just focus on those. And the workshop was so cool. It went way longer than I anticipated. We covered a lot, and really from the ground up with Procreate. So that was really cool, and worked towards making a finished piece. I did some more work on it today. And the blessing and the curse with digital media is you just can keep changing and keep working on things. So I felt pretty good about what we got done yesterday, but then I wanted to keep working on it. So I did. And yeah, it was really cool. Thank you so much to everyone who joined the live workshop. All right, that's it. I'm going to start with that, put it in focus, and see what I can do with my hot pink brilliant opera rose paint. And maybe I'll be brave and just wet my paper and see what happens, because there's nothing, this paper's not white anyway, but there's no white bright highlight here at all. So I'm going to see what happens when I get wet with this, because wet in wet is also something I want to get a bit more courageous with. Hello. Cindy, too early. It's too early. Yeah, I know. But I've got to put my kids to bed, and I was like, it's going to be easier now than... I don't know when they're going to get to bed. So here I am. Here we are. And it's too early, but you're here anyway. Just watching. Totally cool. Rave222, you only have a pencil. Excellent. Sketch with pencil. Sketch with what you have. Whatever you have, it's good. I have a strip of tape at the bottom of this to try and hold it together, because when I noticed the last watercolor sketch I did on here, the paper just went whoop and totally warped. Let's get pinker and pinker. So yeah, big kind of the kind of coincidental mark making, the stuff where the watercolor actually is like doing things where it's like, what's going on? It does its own thing. I would like to invite more of that into my sketching. And I see amazing work where people really lean into the wetness of watercolor. I tend to try and control my watercolor a lot. And so I want to see how I can go about kind of being a bit more courageous with it. Martina, all you have right now, Staedtler tinted watercolor pencils. Not much red either. I'm not using red. But maybe one day it would be interesting, like CAD red. This would be amazing. Lewis, hola. Nice to have you here. Hello, Gabriela. Have I ever tried to skip the pencil stage? There we go. I can't read Hebrew, so I can't pronounce your name. You could tell me in the letters that I could read how to say your name, and I can address you by your name. But I would love to skip the pencil stage, and I feel like it's coming on. That's something that Lewis also said to me a year ago, I think, was like, why don't you just go straight to watercolor? And that's what I'm building up the courage to do in these live streams this month. I will go straight to watercolor. And if you join me in my daily practice, you'll be here to bear witness to my developing the courage to go straight to watercolor. Yeah, it's something I would like to do. So yes, I will. I haven't done a lot of it, but I will. Ilana, is that correct? Ilana, Ilana. Nice to meet you. Denmark, this is a good time in Denmark. Good. Brigitte, beam paint. Oh, beam paints. I would love beam paints. I'm working with Glisser's Schminke paints, but beam paints I would love to have, because I know they are made from earth pigments, from a wonderful paint maker, so I've heard. I spent quite a while making inks and dyes, pigments, and I would love a set of natural pigment watercolor paints. That would be so cool. So that's super nice that you have those, Brigitte. All right, what's up with this? What could I use to go darker on my hot pink? The whole thing, like, it would be cool if it was all like this. Even this mid-tone, this is a toned watercolor paper, but it would be so cool if it was like all that intense. But today it's not going to be. Maybe the next one will be. But I feel like I'm on a time frame here with my children to tend to in a moment, and we'll see how I can build it up just like this. So yeah, painting directly to watercolor. I've been watching, Robert. Is it Robert O'Reilly, perhaps? I need to memorize his name, because just the past week I've been super inspired watching his portraits, where he just goes straight to wet in wet. These amazing lush watercolor portraits, and some of them are so like they just evaporate. So cool. Hi Klaus, yes, paintbrush today. Gabriela, this reference is perfect for terracotta. Yeah, that paper is so cool that you've been using, Gabriela. Paper and black pencil. Yes, if you've already got like the red paper, that's amazing. What a gift. Okay, now I have another little brush. I want something darker. I wonder. I have this alizarin crimson. It's not super dark, but it's different. So it's definitely, it's pretty dark compared to the pink. And maybe there's also something else still on the brush. Yeah, so yesterday I taught 2 workshops. In the afternoon, I was teaching or leading a workshop with some kids, teenagers from a neighborhood in the city where I live, where I'm going to be taking the work that we did in the workshop yesterday and coming up with a composition for a street art project. It's going to be painted on a big tarp and put up at the basketball court where these kids live, which is pretty cool. And so we spent yesterday coming up with ideas. I shared a lot of inspiration of amazing artists with them, to get them excited and inspired. And I was wondering if they would have ideas of what to do, and their ideas were so many and so varied that now I'm thinking, how am I going to turn this into one composition? So that's my task for the coming week. And next weekend we're going to work on a big painting together. And that's going to be really interesting. Hi Ike, good evening. Lewis, today you've been playing a little with Sketchbook app, trying to make the image I made yesterday in Procreate. Interesting. I'm definitely going to try using the Sketchbook app as well to see if I can use it like I use Procreate. So I think that could be really interesting, because I know, I have learned that Procreate is only available on Apple devices. And I would like to see if this free app, Sketchbook, if I can do the stuff with that I like being able to do in Procreate. Because that would just be cool if more people can, access the power of these tools, potentially with a free app on any device. That would be really cool. You'll show it to me soon. I look forward to seeing it. Cindy is curious. So that was the one workshop, was with these kids. Super cool. And like there's a lot of ideas, a lot of inspiration, and a lot of elements that I would like incorporated into the composition. So I'm very curious, and they're very, very different. So there's LeBron James, Deadpool, Hello Kitty, jellyfish, a lot of different stuff. Bubbles, butterflies. So that's going to be interesting. And we did, it was really, really cool. I did a timed portrait phase of the workshop where we drew each other, and I got them doing blind contour drawings, and they had a very good time, and they did some really cool blind contour drawings, these kids. That was super fun to see how they went about it and confident they were. And it was really cool. It was cool to get out and meet some cool kids and make something with them. I like the light shape here. It's really cool. Like the contrast is looking cool. The whole pink, I'm like losing the pink. It should be pinker. So you may have noticed I've changed from my upright surface to workspace to being flat for this wet media month, because I start to see this pooling stuff going on, and it's interesting. Well, this paper is maybe not the best in this little block for getting super wet, but just the shapes that happen when the watercolor like pools and puddles, I love that kind of stuff. It leaves really interesting marks, and letting the medium, the watercolor, play an active role in creating interesting shapes and stuff. That is something that I really enjoy, because there's an element of unpredictability to it, and you can kind of influence, like you can make certain choices which will be like, okay, it's going to be more likely that things spread and change over here, but the unknowable element of it is really kind of interesting, just to see how is it going to work out, what's going to happen with all of this wet stuff going on. So I really enjoyed yesterday's workshop, and 2 weeks ago I did a workshop as well, and I was wondering, I do monthly tutorials on Procreate, and this year they are like parallel to the sketch practice themes of the month, and I was thinking the Zoom experience, sitting together with people and working together, is so much fun that maybe every month I should do a workshop to take everything that has been like focused on throughout the month and do a workshop on that topic. Like that could be really cool. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you sign up to my mailing list. There's a link to that in the description. Because it's I really enjoy the directness of sitting together with people, and there were questions asked where it's like, yeah, but when you do that, how is that when you do that? And it's like being able to instantly respond and demonstrate and really go into detail in things is I think a really cool way of teaching, and I think it's a wonderfully direct way to learn. So it's really nice to be able to do that with people. So thank you to everyone who joined the workshop. And similarly, a really direct way of learning and teaching is the mentorship. And my mentorship is open for registration. We'll be starting in the second half of April. The first round is concluding soon. And I would love to work with you. If you would feel that having that direct, close guidance, companionship, accountability is something that could be beneficial for you, then get in touch, because that's also a wonderful way to teach and learn. The community aspect of it is so cool. So if you would like to spend a lot of time hanging out together, one-on-one calls and group calls, totally geared towards whatever it is that you need in that given moment or phase of your development to focus on. So it could be technique stuff, it could be working towards making a series, working towards a body of work or a portfolio, or it may be something that you're not able to articulate, and just by being together and working through things, we will discover things together. It's a really interesting way to grow and learn, and I'm honored to be able to offer it. So if that sounds interesting to you, get in touch. There's more information on my website, dylansara.com. Things are very wet now, and I'm really craving some line work. I would love to draw on top of this. Ooh, Lana, adding indigo to the dark parts, that would be intense. Yeah, well, you could check out dylansara.com. Go to the mentorship. There's a lot of commonly asked questions and answers that addresses all there is. I do have indigo in this palette, so that I don't have every color, but I have these colors, and this is indigo. So I'm a little afraid because there's really a pool of. I would feel more comfortable if this was dry and I went in and put a dark indigo layer on top. But if I stick to the areas where it's not super wet, it might be okay. Lewis has been sharing incredible color studies for watercolor, mixing primary colors and secondary colors, and it's really, really cool. In the suggestions channel on the Discord server, you can follow along with Lewis's explorations and suggestions. And yeah, it's really, really cool to see, Lewis. I love that you're sharing that with the community, and it's just like a wonderful exploration of color mixing, and that's super fun to see the way that those different. I'm going to risk it, go through here, the way those different colors interact with each other, and how there's such a beautiful subtle range just within the very limited selection of color, like what they do together. It's really interesting to see. So thank you for sharing those explorations, Lewis. If anyone has kind of things that excite them or things that puzzle them about watercolor questions, you could ask that in the Discord server. So the Discord server is where I share the daily reference, and we share our work there as well from the live streams. And there are a lot of other conversations happening there as well. So it's really cool. Rave222, this is the first time you've ever tried to draw a portrait of a human, and you're focusing so hard, your mouth breathing. Excellent. Focus is good. Breathing is good. Keep breathing. It's so cool that you're drawing a human with me, trying to, a great challenge to embark upon. And I'm honored that you're sharing this experience with me, that we get to make something together. So I feel like I could keep going and going and going and going, but I'm going to have to wrap this up. This just reached 20 minutes so far, and I have my offspring to tend to. I thought I'd buy myself some time by letting them watch. They have like a daily allowance of media intake, screen time, we call it, because books are also media and they can read as many books as they want. But it is time. So, this I long to draw into this. Maybe when it's dry, I will add a drawing on top. Then I will feel at home, comfortable. But this is a pretty loose sketch to start with. I feel like it's taking a step towards being able to just go straight to watercolor. stick around to watch me take that step sometime this month. And yeah, if you've made it this far, put a drawing hand emoji in the chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay. Or you could also find the paintbrush. I saw that Klaus put a paintbrush emoji in there. That was nice to see. Since I changed it, you may have noticed in the thumbnails, I'm calling it, what am I calling it? Daily sketch instead of daily drawing. Because up until now, every live stream has been the daily drawing practice. And since this is more about the wetness and the painting than the drawing, it's now a daily sketch for our daily portrait. All right. It's so loose and wet. I crave the definition of the pencil. There's so much more I would like to see going in here. And I could make it darker. I could get that pink back in there. I'd love to see more of the pink. But my children are my convenient excuse. I'm going to go to them. It's been so nice to have you here with me. You don't want to do this beautiful muse any injustice. Just do it again. If you get to a stage where it's like, well, try again, and again, and again, and again. The more you do, the better. But maybe this one is also just perfect, and maybe you just stop now, and it's like, it's just how it's supposed to be. Yeah, thank you, Lewis, for sharing your experience. Thank you for all those drawing hands and the paintbrush. Brigitte found the paintbrush. Half a drawing from Martina. Not happy with the sketch yet. Need to add water. Svati is here. Paintbrush. Thank you for your eyes, Lana. Thank you everyone for being here. Uta is here. Cool. Oh, and by the way, if you made it all the way to the end and you signed up to the Procreate workshop, I will have the replay up soon. There's a little bit of editing I wanted to do, and it's been a family day and stuff, but that will be up and available soon. So the replay is still available. Also the replay of the shadow shape workshop from 2 weeks ago. And since there's stuff going on here, there's potential. So that was almost 25 minutes spent working on this. I'll show you. I've been showing you all these Procreate portraits. I'll show you yesterday's. I've actually kept working on it a bit today. So if you were at the workshop or you saw my Instagram story, it looks a little bit different now. So here's my Procreate portrait that I worked on in the workshop, and it's got lots of shapes, especially in the eye. And this whole thing was made with the freehand selection tool, just using shapes and shapes and shapes to put this together. So thank you to everyone who was there. It was lots of fun. And yeah, I'm still going to keep working on this, but I've changed a bit since yesterday. A lot interesting things happened in the workshop. It was super fun. So yeah, the replay will be up by tomorrow, sometime tomorrow for sure. Maybe I can get it done today, but by tomorrow it'll be up. So thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you for being here now. Thank you, dear friends of the internet. I wish you all well. Take care of each other. Drink plenty of water and rest. I will see you